listening to Her Profit Era, the podcast for founders who want a business that actually works. A business that's profitable, predictable, and pays them well. I'm Cindy Kumar, a CPA, a fractional CFO from Abbotsford, BC, Canada. I'm the person founders call when they're tired of high revenue months with no money left over. I started this podcast because too many founders were chasing sales while their margins, cash flow, and bank accounts told a completely different story. I believe profit and money in the bank is the standard, not a bonus, and that every founder deserves clarity around their numbers. Each week, you'll get real financial strategy you can actually use and honest conversations with founders and industry experts about what it really takes to build a business that lasts. Today's guest is the woman who completely rewrote the definition of success. Ariane Vera was a high achiever doing all the right things, working in international startups, co-authoring a leadership book, and she's delivered 3 TEDx talks by her early 20s. Her path pointed straight towards a powerful corporate career. And then burnout changed everything. At 22, she packed her life into 2 suitcases, moved to Mexico without a plan B. She gave herself permission to follow joy for 6 months. That experiment never ended. She worked with coffee farmers and launched her own coffee initiative. She hosted a radio show with the United Nations SDG campaign. She even pursued music, performing on national stages and festivals. When the pandemic hit and life flipped again, income was gone. Relationship was over. She had to rebuild from zero a second time. Through journaling and deep inner work, she developed a method to remove limiting beliefs and redefine success on her own terms. That became her business, the Journal of a Healer. Today, it's a global platform with 13 online courses, 2 memberships, and 11 published books that have helped thousands transform their lives and careers from inside out. Ariane is a living proof that when you choose joy and purpose first, the success will always follow. Hi, Ariane. Thank you so much for joining me on Her Profit Era today.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm really excited and really looking forward to our conversation today.
We had connected on Threads and I felt like you have such an incredible story. So could you share like a little bit about yourself and how you got into like publishing your own books?
Yes, of course. So my story, very briefly, if I remember the comment correctly that I sent to you, was I quit corporate at 22 because I had a burnout. I left my old life, how I like to say, behind. I moved to Mexico and started from scratch. And then during the lockdown, I lost my income, I got divorced, and I had to start from scratch again. So I dove deeply into personal development. I started journaling. And then when I wrote my second book about it, I got requests if I could offer coaching to that. And I took it as an opportunity to build the business that today is the Journal of a Healer, and teach coaching to help others to find their own version of fulfilling success in life and in business. And I've published, well, by now it's 11 books, just because I love writing so much and because it's so healing and it's something that I love doing. And I think we should all just do the things that we love. And that's it. That's a brief. That's a brief summary.
Thank you so much for like sharing that. And like, how is it like navigating through all those losses, all those challenges? Because like once you're going through it, it's like you're kind of spiraling, you start to self-sabotage.
Of course.
Like, how did you get yourself through that point of your life?
Yeah, so when you look back on it, then of course you see the next steps and you see how something led to something else. But when you're in the middle of it, you never see that. And I learned that it's so important to really, really firmly believe that everything happens for you, and that you always have the choice of, how do I respond to this? How do I choose my thoughts? How do I choose to live this day? How do I choose to believe in myself today? And you have to, even if all the odds are against you, even if the logic says something else, you just have to believe in yourself and keep moving forward.
That's so inspiring. And from like a financial perspective, did you have like savings and things built up? Or was it kind of like you're rebuilding during that time?
Yeah, not at all. That was the thing. So when that second breaking point, and I always say, like, it's a breaking to break open to breakthrough. So when that happened, I was at a financial zero. Nobody knew about the pandemic, right? So I had just
Right.
quit my safe teacher job that I had accepted to, build my dreams and just have an income on the side. I had just quit that. I had gone to Germany for a tour, paying everything like by myself, financing, investing it myself. And then I came back, and I remember just like shortly after like everything was shut down.
Yeah.
And there I was with nothing. And I was so mad at that point, because I thought, I have given everything. Like, just when I decided to trust myself, to take a leap and to go all in, the world literally just like shuts down. Like, what is this? um, but in those moments, it's almost like you're being asked, like, do you really want this? If you really
Right.
want this, you find a way to keep going. So that was also the point when I heard about money mindset for the first time. And I knew that I cannot continue the way that I did up until that point. So I did all the work on, what do I think about money? What are my money wounds? What is the money story that I tell myself? What is the first memory that I have with money?
Wow.
And how do I see money, and how do I want to see money? And that was a long way, and it took me years. And I mean, it's an ongoing work, right? We're never done with that.
Yeah.
But a lot changed. So yeah, it's a breaking to break open and to break through. Like, you take something from that, and in the hard moments, like, you find purpose in the pain.
That's so inspiring. How long did it take until like your I guess your like external kind of shifted to match like your
Uh-huh.
internal?
I think it was like 1 to 2 years. Obviously, it's
Oh,
like bits by bits. Yeah, I know. It's
yeah.
like not happening fast. It's like it's bits by bits, and then you. I think you could definitely do it faster. Like, this is also why I have the courses that I have, and like all the tools and guidance out there, right? Like, but I went through it by myself, and I think that's also why it took so long. And you do it bit by bit, and then by showing up differently and by choosing differently, you get different results. But up until it was really like a complete shift that was visible on the outside also,
Yeah.
that was easy 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like most people want like the instant quick results. And a lot of people would have given up like after the first couple of months.
True, true. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's so cool that you mentioned that, because we are so used to this narrative of change your life within a week. And of course you can, and of course sometimes your life changes in a week. It's not to say like it's not possible, but this, you have to live through it. There's no quick fix. There is no abbreviation. You have to work through it, and you have to commit to that deep change, and that just takes time, and that's okay. So we should like question those yeah, that narrative of like earn 1 million in 6 weeks, which became so big on LinkedIn and everywhere, right? It's like, really? Because it's okay if it takes time.
Yeah, for sure. And then like what made you move? Like you were in Germany, you're in Mexico, New York. Like what made you kind of like move and leave like your comfort zone?
So it was easier for me to leave Germany because I had experienced that burnout. And I thought, like, in my mind, I knew I wanted to be successful and I knew I wanted to have money. So the only thing that my mind came up with at that time was, then I need a corporate career. Then I need to be the super successful businesswoman in a big corporation. And I wanted that so much. And I did everything that I could. And then the burnout happened. And that was
Right.
really, really sad for me, because I thought I had done everything right. The CV looked perfect. So why does that not make me happy and even make me sick? So I had to stop that, and I had to completely cut with that. And I gave myself the permission to explore, what does success truly mean to me? How do I want to feel? What is my own version of success? And allow myself to not think about the titles or positions or anything, and really just find out, who am I and how do I want to live my life.
Wow. Did you have like family support or like friends or like any like mentors that were guiding you through this kind of journey? Or are
No.
you figuring
So
it
so I
out?
did. I mean, I grew up German Argentinian, so I always had the support of my parents because when I said, "Yeah, I want to move to Mexico," like they did the same, right? Like they also moved across the ocean. So they were obviously they were encouraging. I think because I knew that it was possible because I had seen it from my parents, it was easier. Like
Yeah,
if I imagine someone who had grown up 100% in Germany with no other different cultural influence, and then you leave that context and go somewhere else, that's way braver, I would think, because I moved to a place where I knew the language. Obviously, it's different from Argentina, but it's still Latin America, so it felt
right.
like a piece of home and just like exploring a part inside of me and letting that live. So it was easier, but it was obviously still a huge step. I mean, you're leaving everything behind that you know, and you just leap into the unknown. But it's exciting, and I needed that.
That's amazing. Did you know anybody like in Mexico or New York when you kind of left, or you kind of had to like find friends, build a community?
I only knew one person. So I moved because of a relationship that no longer exists, but I moved because like I knew that one person. And then I just started making friends. And I'm not the person who like if I'm in a relationship, I'm just focused on one person. I'm still like I just love getting to know people and doing a lot of things and going to events. So I built my network from scratch. And what also really helped me was that nobody cared about the titles and the positions. Nobody, I noticed I'm so used to introducing myself with my job. Like, hi, I'm Ariane, I do blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
Nobody cared about that. Like, even if I tried, they didn't even know what I was talking about. So that was really helpful because then again, like, you have to define yourself and you have to find out who am I beyond my job title? What is it that I really want? What is the success that truly fulfills me?
that's so interesting you say that because now that I'm thinking about it, like whenever you meet someone or you connect with someone, you identify it with like your job title or your designation or experience or something.
Yeah, right? And I mean, of course, we can be proud of that. And if you're working in your dream job and you just love it so much, I do say it. But as long as you don't attach to it, as long as you still see the full you and not just one part that you're hiding behind.
Do you have any tips? Like, I'm sure like the listeners are listening to this and like something just clicked. Like, do you have any tips for like how do you disconnect from like your experience, your title? Was there something that you started doing to disconnect from that?
Yes, I think it really helps. Like, I like writing, but if somebody doesn't really like journaling, just talk to a friend about this or just say it out loud. Really, how do you present yourself if you can't mention anything about your work and like, nothing about your previous experience? Like, how would you describe yourself? How would you present yourself? And even if it sounds silly, but like, what are the words that you like? For example, I don't know, I'm Ariane. I am writing, sunsets, going for a walk, animals, nature. Like, I don't know, like just something that you love that doesn't have to do with the job, and that really helps you to yeah to get a broader picture of you.
That's so true, and it sparks curiosity too, like learning more about those things about you.
Yeah. Like, what do you talk about when you don't talk about your job or your career?
Yeah, that's so cool. Could you share a little bit about your experience, like writing your first book to now writing like 10? Like, what was that experience? Or is it kind of like you got this like download with your intuition and you're just like, I just need to write and like share my story?
That describes it perfectly. So, the first book is called 100 Ways to Speak of Love. And I saw a post on Instagram that said something about love languages, but not the traditional ones. Just like, I brought you a coffee and how much that shows about like how much someone loves you. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting. I just want to make a list of 100 like things that show love without saying I love you. And I was so fascinated by that idea. I started on a Friday afternoon, and then it wasn't only a list, it turned into chapters. And then by Monday morning, I had that book. I didn't sleep a lot. I admit that, but I just kept writing. And on Monday morning, I thought like I should try to find ways to publish this, and I had heard of the Amazon platform like a little
Yeah.
bit before, so I just did my research and then I uploaded it, and that was it. And people loved it,
Wow.
which was amazing. It was really cool. Like I couldn't believe that anybody would ever read something that I wrote, so it was really beautiful. And then the second one, which was the one when I noticed I think writing is really a part of me, was the healing journals, which was about journaling, and then that led to the business. And for a long time, I thought, well, writing is just, I know it's so sad to say that, but writing is a waste of time. I should put this into like a job or something real, or but it took me a long time to give myself the permission to write. And I think it comes together with money because, especially if you're self-employed, your time just works differently. And
Right.
then to not have that pressure, but to allow yourself to do something or to invest time into something that brings money later, it was very hard for me to learn that. But by now, I just accepted it that I need to write. Every time that I try to stop writing, it didn't work. So also as an encouragement to everyone, you don't always need to know where it leads you. It's like, especially all the creative things, creativity is something that falls off. That's the first thing that we cut out from our lives, and that's so sad because anything that you enjoy doing, it helps you to be more you, and it creates a beautiful ripple effect in everything else, and it contributes so positively to everything, to your career, to your life, to your happiness, to your joy, well-being, everything. And I would love to encourage everyone to just follow that intuition, or that I need to write no, or I need to do arts, or I need to go running, whatever it is. Like, do those things that bring you joy, because joy is an investment and it always pays off.
Wow. I feel like once like you start making money, you start to stop doing like the creative things that gave you joy or like were fun.
Yes. And it's almost like we need that guarantee, or we need that permission. Like, I'm doing this because I know it brings me money, so that's why I can do it. And that's so sad. And it's so important to have something that really, like it. And the irony, it usually translates into something that brings you money, but you like let go of that. I need the guarantee that it brings me money, and trust that just do it because you love it.
And then what made you like just publish like on Amazon by yourself rather than going like the traditional route with like finding a publisher, working with someone, having them like review everything that you wrote?
I would love to do that one day. But for me, the first thought that came to my mind when I had that manuscript was, I just want to publish it right now. I don't want to wait 1 or 2 years. I want to publish it right now. So, I mean, I am a very impatient person sometimes, and that was good in that case, right? So, it's you have so much control over it. I would love to publish with a publisher one day, but I also appreciate the benefits of self-publishing. It gives you so much freedom, and so much control also, and creative control, and you can design the covers, and yeah,
Right.
it gives you a lot of creative freedom.
I'm sure you got like a lot of feedback doing it the first time.
Yes, well, the feedback continues, but I know so far it's just been, actually it has been good. I never came across a person who didn't like, well, I guess you don't buy a book that you know that you won't like, right? But
Yes.
but it's a beautiful feeling when you write something, or when you create something and somebody comes across it. And I always say, like, it's not yours. Like, my books are not mine. Obviously I wrote them,
Yeah.
and they healed me in a way too, but then as soon as I put them out, it's the book of everyone who reads it, and it will heal them, or it will like bring joy to them, and it will bring them everything that they need in that moment. And that's what I love about art. It's, yeah, it's no longer yours, and you share it with someone else.
That's so meaningful. And then what led to like from book 2 to like book 10?
I admit, by book 5, I thought, is it not enough now? Like, can you not just like stop writing? Um, but I usually take time every single day. Like, yeah, it's just like a habit, just like you work out. I just write, and I write 1,000 words a day.
Wow.
I mean, if I don't do it, it's not like I punish myself or like force myself to write. It's just natural. Just like it's a routine. It's something that helps me so much, and something that anchors me so much. And in my recent book, I wrote, some people breathe, or like most people breathe, and some people breathe and write. And if you are a creative person, you just need that. And it's so hard to, like, you're nodding, like you probably know that as well. Like, it's so hard to describe that to someone who doesn't need that. Like, how do you say, well, I just need to sit in a coffee shop and write? And everybody would say, like, don't waste that money, don't waste
Right.
that time, like, why are you even doing this? But if you have this connection to your creativity, you just need to let that live, because if you don't, it feels like you're cutting off a part of you. So that's why I keep going, because it helps me feel more like myself.
Right. Yeah, I feel like I'm very like old fashioned. I'd rather like get a cute journal and like write in it versus like type something on my laptop. Doesn't feel the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't feel the same, right? Yeah.
And I know you're really big on journaling. So how has that really helped you?
So journaling was what helped me recognize and then remove my beliefs. The first thing that I heard about, well, the personal development and belief system and everything was when I went through that the world is in lockdown, I need to find solutions.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know what is holding me back. What are the beliefs that are holding me back? So what I do, how I journal, is this. I have 3 columns in my journal. I literally just draw like 2 lines. In the first column, I put the date. In the second column, I put what happened, because so many things happen during a day. The
Yeah.
really cool things, really cool coincidences, but also the really uncomfortable moments and all the triggers and everything that you didn't expect, all the setbacks and all the things that annoy you. So I just write it down. And I believe that if something annoys you or something brings you joy, it's because there's an emotional response. And that's because there's something inside of you that's being like touched. So then I look at what is it that has been touched? What is that part of my core or my essence? And I call that the inner colors. So your inner colors is a list of 3 to 10 words that describe who you are when you don't have to be anyone, who you are when you can't present yourself with a title or a position, right? So you can find your inner colors. Like it's a whole list, but I just briefly say it here. Like 3 questions that you can ask yourself is what brings you joy, what makes you forget about time, and what annoys you about other people, because that says a lot about you. You
That's a good
just write that
one.
out. You write that out and you categorize. So, for example, one of my inner colors is creative expression. That's where I put music, writing, drawing, painting, going to exhibitions, everything that has to do with art, creative expression. So, I have my list with those words, and then I check, okay, what is it about today? Like, what triggered me and why did it trigger me? And I just track and document, because if I see, okay, this annoys me because I don't set boundaries and I don't protect my inner color, I don't step up for it because I never set boundaries and I never say no, then I'm aware of it and I can change it. And next time that something happens that feels the same, I know how to react. And even if it feels uncomfortable and new for me, I still know now I have to say no and now I have to set a boundary. And that's how you choose differently, and then you get different results. And that's how life begins to change.
Wow. Now, I know the listeners are probably thinking, like, I don't have time for journaling. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
would you say time blocking in your calendar to do it throughout the day or like first thing in the morning, evening? Like, how would you kind of structure it? Because it's so important.
Yeah. Time is a huge important topic to talk about. So I would say, if it helps you to have a structured time, you don't need more than 5 to 10 minutes. This
Mhm.
like way to journal, how I just described, you can even just do it like mentally, just thinking about it. You don't even need to write it down. Just the part of like being intentional and self-aware. If it helps you to schedule time, take 5 to 10 minutes every day. If it's in the morning, if it's during your lunch break, or before you go to sleep, it doesn't matter. Try to find that like window of time that helps you. For other people, and I also came across that a lot of times, they said, if it's something that I have to do, I won't do it. If it's like another task, I'm forcing myself and I'm not enjoying it. So
Right.
then I would say, instead of seeing it as something to tick off your to do list, see it as a ritual and
Mhm.
just do it sometime in the morning or like when you're closing the day. It doesn't have to be from 7 to 7:10, right? Like just do
Right.
it as part of a routine that like a ritual. See it as a ritual. And then it's easier because it doesn't put pressure on you. It gives you a space to just be. And so I would say like figure out what works best for you, but just know like you don't need 10 hours every day to journal. It's really just 5 to 10 minutes
Do you still journal like on a daily basis?
every day. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I like to track and document because I know how effective it is, and
Right.
I've seen how my life changed. So now when I don't do it, I feel like I'm missing an opportunity. Again, like if it happens that I'm very busy, that I didn't do it, nothing
Yeah.
like nothing happens. It's okay. But I'm just feeling so motivated to do it because I'm so like I really want to know what's going on and connect the dots and just show up as my best and most confident self. So I have that motivation within me. I don't have to force myself to do it.
That's amazing. For someone that's like new to journaling, do you have like a few prompts they should like start with?
Yeah, definitely. Um, I think if you really like have never journaled before, go with the how do I feel? That's it. Like how do I feel? Even if you feel like there's nothing to write about or that you don't like, you don't have an answer, to just start writing. It really doesn't matter. Just start writing, and you'll write about something. Like, even if you feel like you don't have a plan, you don't need a plan. Just write. If you're relatively new to journaling, then something that I love to think about, and a question that I still ask myself almost every day, is like, if everything is possible, how is it? And I love that question so much because it opens up so many possibilities, and you allow yourself to think about your best case scenario. And like, how many times do we think about the worst case scenarios? How many times do we think,
All the
oh no,
time.
but if, yeah, exactly, right? Like, how many times do we actually think about the best case scenario? And also to get this clarity on what you truly want, and not hold yourself back, and not judge yourself, and not analyze while you're writing. Just write it from your heart. Like, if everything is possible, how is it? And dream, allow yourself to dream, because that brings you so much clarity. And you don't have to know how or when it's going to work. It's just about you spending time with your dreams, with your goals, with your essence, with your inner colors, as I say.
Wow. Do you have any recommendations on how to like build patience for like waiting for things to like catch up, even though like you're journaling, you're saying like all your affirmations, you're trying to regulate your nervous system, but you're not seeing the results that you want?
I would love that advice as well. Okay, no, no. So something that really, really helps me is to, and I know it sounds so cheesy, but trust
Yeah.
in timing. Trust in timing. So many times I wanted things to happen earlier, and then I waited just a little bit more, and then it happened at a perfect moment in time. So
Yeah.
I try to remind myself of that. Like, what if, like, why does it have to happen now? And can we allow for the possibility that there's a better moment in time? And instead of wanting it now, just thinking about how can I get ready for it? How can I be more prepared for it? And really, really trust that piece of timing. And if it helps, like, go back all the amazing thing that happened in your life. Like, think about if it really would have been like better if they had happened earlier. I
Yeah.
think of that example of an artist. If you send someone on a stage in a stadium with like, what is it, 30,000 people or something watching,
Yeah.
and that person has never even presented in front of 10 people, that's
Right.
not going to be good. That's going to break that person. So
Yeah,
it's the same
totally.
with everything that you want to manifest and create in your life. Like, can you really hold it? And would it be good if it arrives now? Because maybe it would break you, and you don't want things to break you. You want to be ready when it arrives.
Yeah, I feel like it's so important for the nervous system to be regulated, and we want these things, but if it all happened at once, like we would just panic.
Yeah, it wouldn't feel good, right? We would sabotage it. We would push it away. We would feel like, no, it's not mine. Like, leave me alone. And that's not what you want.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
feel like even with the online world of like people we
Mhm.
follow, influencers, like we see them like on these vacations making like 50K months or 100K or whatever it is.
Mhm.
It's just like we just compare ourselves and like spiral
All
if
the
we don't see the same
time.
results.
Yes, that comparing piece, that's something that I like journaled about the other day, that I
Yeah,
don't want to compare myself anymore. And it's so easy because you open social media and instantly you fall into this person has something that I don't have.
right.
It's kind of like how it's built, right? So of course, like, we probably have the same effect if we share something, but just to remind yourself, like, don't compare yourself. Everybody's in their own lane. Everybody has their own
Exactly.
timing. And also, you never know how that person really feels. Like, if somebody really feels fulfilled going on that vacation, and like, we don't know that. And also, like,
Exactly. Yeah.
remember that you never know how it looks on the inside.
So true. What's like one money lesson you wish you would have learned sooner?
To invest in joy. Yeah, again, it sounds so cheesy, but I was always holding myself back. And I'm still working on that. It's really hard for me to give myself the permission to just do things because they make me happy.
Right.
And I think if you, like, by now, like, I've done that intentionally for a few years, and I know that it's safe, and I know that my nervous system is ready for it. And I also know the good things that come out of it. For example, when I wrote that second book, I remember that I was like, it was a really weird time in my life because I was like in a casting show, and it was so much pressure, and I paid for the Ubers to go to that coffee shop to just get some time to write, but it was an expense at that time, and I
Right.
didn't have the guarantee. I just spent money on something that I didn't even know if it was going to turn into a book. I just wanted to write. But then, because I did that, and because I followed through, and because I invested in my well-being, then the book turned into a whole business.
Wow.
And that showed me it's safe to invest in your well-being. It's safe to invest in your own joy. It's not only safe, it's necessary. And don't underestimate joy, and don't underestimate to give yourself something that fulfills you and that makes you happy. That always leads to something good. It always comes back.
That's so true. And then how did you go from writing your book to like starting your business?
So I got a few messages actually asking if I could offer coaching on that because I shared it on Instagram, and
Wow.
if I had a course on it. So I was like, yeah, I have a course. I didn't have anything.
That's
I
amazing.
didn't have absolutely anything. And then, so I set up that course. People bought it, and I saw that somebody is willing to pay for that, and that that it really helped people. It was like it was the first round. I think it was just 4 or 5 people, but it was so beautiful, and everyone sent me such long messages after saying like how much it helped and how
Oh,
much they
wow.
want to continue. And then I thought, why do I not continue with that? If it makes people happy, if it helps someone,
Right.
why do I not create a business out of it? I'm just going to go for it. And I was lucky in that sense that it worked. It's not to say that everything was always like picture perfect. Of course, like every entrepreneurial project, right, like has the ups and downs and the moments when you feel like you want to stop and it's not making sense anymore, but then you just continue. And I have so much love for the journaling world, and I really feel like it found me rather than I found the idea. Like it's just an idea that found me. So I'm just so committed to it. I just know that I will continue doing it no matter what.
How has it evolved? Like, do you offer like group coaching or is it like one-on-one or is it more like courses?
Yeah, so now it's a membership. It's called the Atelier to be in line with the like share your inner colors on the canvas called life. It's 13 online courses covering every single area of your life. So it's journaling and money, journaling and love, journaling and intuitive eating, journaling and success, journaling and healing, and so on. So you have your, like,
Amazing.
and you also have the courses that describe the journaling method. And you enter and you just like my wish for the space is that it reminds you to remember like who you really are. I think in everyday life we get stressed so easily. We forget about our dreams. We forget about our potential and everything that you can achieve and that you've always dreamed of achieving. So I want the atelier to be that space where you enter and forget about the noise and the worries and everything else and just remember who you are and get that confidence back and that joy back and keep going and keep creating. That's my wish for the membership. And obviously, if somebody wants one-on-one, I also have the one-on-one coaching offers. But it's mainly now the big membership with the self-taught online courses.
Wow. And what type of like people would like your course and programs be good for? Or is it like open to anybody?
Yeah, well, it's definitely open to anybody, but usually, well, it's creative people. Or someone who says like, you don't need to have a creative job or don't need to have like to be an official artist or something. It's just like, I
Right.
love to spend time with creativity. And I was surprised about that. I don't know about you, but I don't find it so helpful actually to have your perfect ideal client avatar because you never know about the people who find you. And I learned
So true.
so much from the people who approached me, right? Like I wouldn't have come up with that profile like never. So it's really beautiful to see that so many people from so many different backgrounds and areas and fields just find the journaling world either because there's really something that they want to change, like they just go through a breakup and they want to heal and they want to find their dream relationship. Then obviously journaling and love is the course that calls them most, or money mindset, or intuitive eating is also like that, like how you would say in marketing language, like that pain point. But I don't like to speak about pain points. It's just like
Yeah.
something that you feel called to change.
Right.
And then obviously it's this, I want to feel more alive and fulfilled in my everyday life. I forgot how good it is to just do something that I enjoy doing. It's that wish and that draws people. And I think that the journaling world has this joy and this like, you're so welcome, just come and create. It does that attracting people on its own. So I don't need to come up with pain points and be mean to people and say like you have to change.
Right.
It's like it's like I would love to create. I would love to have a more fulfilling everyday life. I would love to bring in more joy. I would love to learn more about making peace with money and seeing money as my best friend. Like those are the questions and the wishes that people come with when they find the journaling world.
That's so beautiful. What was like
Thank you.
marketing like in like the early days of like because then you hear it all the time. You could have like a great product, but if nobody knows about it, then it's not going to sell.
Yeah. Yeah. So in the beginning, it was just LinkedIn and Instagram. And then it changed a bit because I started this in German and English, and then
Oh,
I
wow.
stopped in German and just completely focused on English. So that was new for me. And then also, I felt this year actually it needed a bit more effort. And I know it's such a luxury problem because like before it really was like, yeah, people just find it. and and of course it's not always going to be that way, right? So
Yeah,
but this year I think it was asking for talk to your people and talk to them in their own language, and that was interesting for me as well. And I think that's so beautiful about building a business, that it helps you also to become like to grow and
yeah,
to mature and to reflect on yourself, right? So
right.
that was very humbling, but it was really good, and it helped me also to do more like reaching out to new people and joining events. I think I got so comfortable also with like, I'm just gonna be here and drink my coffee and then it's like, no, we need you to like get out and meet people and just
Yeah,
remember how much fun it is to meet people. And that was really good. Yeah.
that's so awesome. Because I feel like marketing is always such a tough one.
It is. But I think the more pressure you put on yourself, the less it works.
That's so
Like,
true. Yeah,
right? And I also think that we're so tired of those posts of like with the hook and the call to action. It's just the
yeah,
same thing again and again, and we are so tired of reading it, and it doesn't attract people anymore.
so
And
true. Yeah,
I think it's really helping to just write what you feel, like as silly as that sounds, but like just show up as your authentic self. Again, that this is so helpful to have the inner colors also for business, because you know, okay, like this is my authentic voice, this is me. Does what I just wrote for a post really reflect who I am? What are the inner
right.
colors of my business? Does that really come across? Also to train the confidence to show up as yourself, like your true self. So yeah, I hope that we see that, like more people sharing stories and experiences and like everything about it. Also the like things that failed and the doubts that they have, but like more real things.
Wow. What are your thoughts on like using your journal prompts and then having like point form in ChatGPT and then ChatGPT just writes it?
Yeah. So I see ChatGPT as an assistant. But I'm also very hesitant sometimes because
Yeah,
ChatGPT just reflects back the mood that you put in. So if you, let's say that you're very doubtful, you have a very doubtful moment, and you write something or you write a prompt with that doubt, it's going to reflect that back. And it actually just like, I think it's beautiful because then you realize it's all on me. Like if I show up as my
right.
most confident self, I get a different answer, not only with ChatGPT, but like with people in general. If I show up as I don't believe in myself, this is not working, this is never going to work out, no matter what I try, it's never blah, blah, blah. Like if you fall into that spiral, that's coming back to you. So obviously ChatGPT is great as an assistant, and it speeds up like all the like technical things, and just like there's so much that ChatGPT can help you with, but it's not going to replace the connection that you have with yourself. And it's not going to, obviously I say this as like someone who writes books, but it's not going to replace writing a book, because writing is a craft. And the same for writing a post. If you write a post with something that you truly feel, and like that, writing that post itself is going to change you. That writing itself is going to bring you an experience, and ChatGPT is never going to replace that. So obviously, like use it, but use it wisely, and remember the power that you have, and that it's always on you how you show up.
That's so true. And you can always tell when ChatGPT writes a caption or a post versus someone just writing
Right?
it themselves.
It all sounds the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is interesting, I
Yeah,
think, because like also thinking that every person has their own writing style, but still then, even if they want like a prompt for their own unique story, even then it sounds the same, and you can just
so true.
recognize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you like not get caught up in that because it's like so convenient?
Hmm. I remember something a friend once said about Mexico, which was beautiful. So, Mexico and Germany obviously are very, very different. And in Germany, the goal is always to make everything more efficient and to always choose the fastest path, which is great. It's helpful. But then Mexico is the exact opposite. Like
So
you
true.
don't try to find the most efficient part. You like that doesn't exist. Like things just take time. But isn't that also beautiful? Like when I see someone making like the tortillas for the tacos, obviously you
Yeah.
could do that with a machine, but is it not also just beautiful to see that and like someone like just the craft of it? I think it's fascinating. So I think the not fastest path has also its right to exist, and there's also so much that you learn during the process, and that's how I see it. Like things don't have to be like faster to be better,
Right.
because you would skip that process, and the process is also more important. So just because it's more convenient to write a ChatGPT post, maybe that post that you write and it takes you an hour and you're so annoyed by it, but that is going to click with so many people because it's real, and then that speeds up things.
Yeah, I feel like based on our conversation, I feel like the common message is finding the beauty and like the slowness, the calmness, like the human experience.
Yeah. And I mean, you can still be a person who wants to achieve a lot of things and just go for your goals and like
Yeah.
full speed ahead. But also don't forget that sometimes the slower path actually speeds things up. It's like what we said, like there's no fast track to earning 1 million in 6 weeks. Like, no, because you have to go through the process. There's no skipping that, right? So the slow part is then will eventually speed things up because you have that clarity and that genuine confidence inside of you.
Wow. Yeah. I feel like this is such a beautiful conversation.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Thank you so much also for your amazing questions. It's really great to connect and to talk to you.
In terms of like, you wrote the books, you built the business. Do you have like people hired on your team? Do you have a system when it comes to managing your money? What does like the back end kind of look like?
No, like for now, it's just a one-person show. I worked with an assistant at the beginning of the year, but then she like moved away sadly, and
Aw.
then yeah, it just didn't work anymore. So it was like it's okay. I still also have that as a goal for the next year, also because I just love working in a team, and because like you probably know that feeling as well when you have a business. Like obviously you're tied to it because you founded it, but it's
Yeah,
so beautiful to get other experiences to it as well and the different perspectives. And again, like it's like a work of art. It's not yours. It belongs to other people as well.
everybody.
So I would love to grow into that.
Wow, that's beautiful. And what's like next for you? Are you writing more books, having more courses? Like, what is like the next 3 to 5 years look like for you?
So I definitely keep writing. Like, as much as I try, like I can't stop writing. So yes, I will write more books, and I would love for more people to find journaling, and let it help them and guide them, and that is my wish, that the brand grows and finds the right people and brings joy to people.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Do you host like in-person workshops?
Yeah, so I'm just having a workshop series for December. And every now and then I do. So like the best thing would be to sign up for the newsletter because that's where I announce it, or just like Instagram and LinkedIn. Every now and then I do, like now because we're closing the year, and then obviously it's such a beautiful time to journal and reflect and set
Right.
the intentions for the next year. During the year, every now and then on a specific topic like money or love for Valentine's Day. But yeah, like not regularly, just every now and then. And yeah, it would be best to just stay updated on the newsletter.
What's the best way to like connect with you? Is it Instagram, LinkedIn?
Instagram, LinkedIn, Substack. That's it. That's where I most share.
Oh wow. Okay, awesome. I
Yeah.
will share all of your details in the show notes. Do you have any like
Thank
last
you.
words for our listeners?
I always say keep creating because like, no matter what, you can keep creating. Everything happens for you, which like it's kind of like the full circle moment, right? Like because that's how
Right.
we started. Everything happens for you, and it's up to you. Keep creating no matter what.
Thank you so much, Ariane.
Thank you.
If you're a founder who wants real strategy, not noise, and you want someone in your corner helping you build a business that feels aligned, is profitable, and actually supports your life, you can apply for CFO on Call. This is my one-on-one financial partnership for established founders, typically making between $500K to $2 million, who want clarity, who want structure and confidence with their numbers. The link is in the show notes so you can schedule a profit strategy call, or you can DM me CFO on Instagram at @CindyKamar and I'll send over all the details.